Hi, this is Jackie,
This is Jason.
and this is Homebodies Only, where we welcome all bodies to join us as we break down and dissect HBO Max series. This episode, we are talking about The White Lotus, Season 3, Episode 8, the finale, Amor Fati. Am I saying that correctly?
You're saying it better than I did, so
Okay, thank you.
yes. Let's just
I was
go
trying
with
to,
yes on
I was trying
that.
to copy Chelsea, I guess. Okay, my summary from TuneFind.com. On their last night in paradise, Lori, Jacqueline, and Kate are forced to reckon with the changes in their decades-long friendship. Belinda and Zion negotiate a deal that could secure her future. Gaytok shares his plans with a disappointed Mook. Timothy comes up with a shocking plan for his family. Okay, you have some alternative titles?
Dun dun dun. Yes, I do. I came up with a few alternate titles to this. For the finale, we got Take the Money and Run, uh, Monkey Fangs, Shootout at the Big Tie Corral,
Oh,
World's Greatest Dad,
jeez.
and Worst Vacation Ever. Can you imagine? You pay all this money, you go to the other side of the earth, and this happens.
Did they know? I feel like a lot of them didn't even know this happened. I mean,
Well,
the three ladies did.
I mean, good God.
How did they not know?
Do you know who know? The dead people. Very knowledgeable about this instance.
Yes. Yeah.
Very permanent circumstance for them. Damn.
Oh my God. Let's get into loves, I guess. Something positive.
You have stuff that you loved.
I did.
All
I
right,
did
go
actually have
for it.
stuff that I love. Okay. I put OMG. I guess, oh my God. Victoria's saying it's offensive if they don't enjoy their money. Wait, was that supposed to be a hate? I think I laughed. That's why I'm like, why did I have that as a love? I think I was laughing. I was dying. I couldn't believe what she was saying. When Chelsea, when Chelsea runs up to Rick on the beach, that whole scene, the music, the lighting, their faces, like I felt for the first time a mutual love. I had chills. And that was in the preview, and so many people on the fan Facebook page thought that it was that they were both dead, and it was like them getting married because it did look like a wedding, and especially her crocheted cover up kind of looked like a beachy maybe wedding dress. Anyway, but I loved that part. Um, uh, and I gotta say this. You're gonna cringe. I love Patrick Schwarzenegger's legs. Oh my God, he was laying there. And once I got over his horrible character, I was like, dang, he's got nice legs. Okay. Um, uh, oh, what part? Oh my gosh. Happy ending came up again in this episode when Zion says to Greg Gary, um, is there enough money here for everyone to get their happy ending? And then he's like, how much money is it going to take for your mom to get her happy ending? I'm like, that cannot be coincidence. They talked about it in special treatments where Saxon was talking about the happy ending. Then obviously he gets a happy ending. And then once again, I know that's not coincidence. Um, I did love Belinda playing hardball. I have a love-hate relationship with that whole scenario. Um, I loved Rick telling Chelsea they're together forever at dinner when he says that to her. I did love that part. But I said holy foreshadowing. I did love Lori's speech at dinner. It did make me cry. Her kind of ending it with like, I'm so happy just to be at the table. I was kind of like, that part was a little like, okay. But everything she said, I think was so dead on with that. Chelsea, oh, I loved that Chelsea still grabs that donut and eats it like on the way out from breakfast. Like she had asked him to get her the donut. She was really stressed out about what he was going to do. And I was thinking that probably was her last meal was the donut. Sorry. But I did love because I would probably do that. I'd be like, oh, let me eat this. It was a tiny donut too. And that was it for my loves.
I had a hard time with this one. I I really was like, there's a lot of things that, and it's partly because the show is so effective.
Mm.
And like I said, I'll never say it's not well made. Anything I don't like about it is because of the attachment that you feel, or
Hmm. Yeah.
um, but the one line I really loved was from Piper, where she's just like, just let me F up my own life,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Talaki.
and just, like, dude, get your own thing. And Sam Rockwell. He's not in this episode a lot, but he's so great. Like, he just shows up. He's just like, up all night with a bunch of hookers in his underwear, and
The
then
underwear was a
and
love. I should have put that down.
the ending of him, going back to spirituality,
Yeah.
was just like chef's kiss. It was like a nice, because you kind of worried about that character, because he goes through this whole diatribe about being sober and starting a new life and not wanting to do this anymore, and then he jumps headlong back into it, the second he has a drink. So you're like, okay, maybe he'll be all right,
Yeah.
but I can't say. I mean, other than the look of the show, and just like how gorgeous the cinematography, production design, all those filmmaking elements of it are.
The soundtrack for
This,
the
yeah,
music.
I thought it was really well. It's a really well put together show.
Hmm.
Um, Other than that, I don't know. I have real mixed feelings about this one, and I did not like the way things ended up.
Hmm.
And it's not that it was badly done. It's just
Right.
that I didn't like where these characters ended up,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Uh, I hated that Piper didn't want to stay at the monastery. I was a little disappointed. I was disappointed in her. It did surprise me, even though I don't know, it did surprise me. I hate Valentine. I wrote every day, all day. Like I just hate him. I can't even look at him. Even like the actor. I follow his Instagram page. I'm like, I hate you. Like he'll show up. I hate you. That's not good. Okay. Mook. Hate her. Uh, such a jerk. Also hate, why didn't Tim clean the blender? I mean, are you kidding? Like, come on. And then why didn't Lockie dump out what was in there? I mean, that was disgusting. And I know boys can be gross and not care, but come on. Jim is a douche. I hate him. Insulting Rick's mother and then him. And then he like insults himself. That's another segment because I have questions. It was confusing. Uh if Amrita had talked to Rick for 10 minutes, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. So I'm blaming Amrita now. It's all her fault. It's completely her fault why all this happened.
I would argue against that. I would say it's the system that put her in that position, that she has to be so loyal to clients and go through this prescribed thing, which is probably some sort of a company policy that she has to obey, even though it doesn't make sense. Like, how many things have you had to do for some job that was stupid, but if you didn't do it, you were going to get fired? So I kind
I,
of,
I think I get what you're saying, but I think it's hard because she does deal with the emotional. And I guess I think about it too. I work in a school and that's a completely different. But I know like with the social worker or the psychologist, if they have a child they're scheduled to see, but there's an emergency with another one. But that's totally different situation. I know. But she, he was like 10 minutes. Well, whatever. Whatever. It's not real life. I gotta remember that. Okay. Uh, Belinda dissing porn shy. I said, what goes around comes around, girl. And then, of course, what do I hate? Chelsea dying. What the F? I mean, I know people were predicting it, but I actually did not expect it because I thought it was going to be too obvious, right? Okay, those are my hates. Do you have a lot of hates?
yeah, I mean, the rat lifts are all awful. I thought maybe a couple of them were redeemable. I guess Lockie's sort of redeemable, and Saxon is almost changing. Like, he's sort of maybe on a path, but you kind of suspect that he's just reading a book to get different kinds of girls. You and I was really disappointed when Piper said, "Oh, I missed my." It's like, shut up, you little whiny baby. It's like, if you've read anything about Buddhism, the whole point is the absence of desire. Like the only thing that you're supposed to want is to not want. So, like, no, you're not gonna get breakfast in bed in your luxury suite. You're gonna like these are monks. What did she think they were gonna do? Did
I
there
know
was
she was
room
doing research on. I don't know. I
like did
was,
she think there was gonna be room service? Like, and
yeah,
also it's like you spent one night.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like she made the decision when she like basically forced the family to go there. She lied and then changed her mind. I know. I don't know. I just felt like it was too quick in a way. But
Yeah, but she's a kid, and if she had a dad who was like sane, maybe he would have said something like, "Well, you were there one night. If you
right.
really want to do this, you have to have some courage in your conviction and try it for a month. See
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
can do it.
he didn't really give her a chance. Like he was like when she first said she was going to go to the be at the monastery and she'd be okay, and he was like, okay, fine. Like he was probably like, okay, I won't kill her. And then when she's like, nah, I don't, I want to be. He's like, all right, I'm going to kill her. Like he did no pause and thought. He was like, all right, she's got to go too.
That whole family is uh so horrible. The fact that he would rather murder his family than see them be poor, the fact that he put him in that situation to begin with because he did some shady financial stuff, the fact that none of them have any courage of any conviction and could not possibly live in an uncomfortable way, let alone, not a stupid rich way. Yeah, they're all awful. Yeah, I said Parker Posey is everything wrong about the upper class. And as we mentioned in our recent Instagram live, I don't think Mike White likes these people either. Um, I also hated Zion and Belinda's greed. I thought she was going to have some courage of her conviction and say, you know what? I don't want this man's blood money. But the minute the price tag went up, she was like, go close it. I'm like, what are you teaching this kid? I mean, like, and I know it's like, well, she couldn't really do anything. Was she going to call the Italian authorities, and were they going to go get? It's like that's not the point. The point is not to benefit monetarily from the murder of another
Right.
human
I
being.
know.
Like
It's terrible.
that is bad, in my
Yeah.
opinion. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just immoral,
Yeah.
and the fact that neither her nor the son she is raising have
Mm-hmm.
any integrity in that regard at all.
Nope.
I mean, you could say, well, she's going to do something good with it, but I don't know. I just,
No. She's
you
like,
know,
let me just be rich for a while.
yeah, and like, and I just think that is the show reminding us of the horrors of greed, and like and it's societally, if you want to talk about capitalism and all that kind of stuff, which people are talking about a lot now. We don't really get political on this show, but like it is a system that literally rewards sociopaths, and that's what we get in this show. Everybody who's a sociopath wins.
I mean, I get stuck on the porn chai thing because she didn't have to. I mean, she really had no feelings for it. Like nothing. It's not like she had to be like, okay, yes, we'll go in business together. She didn't have to do that, but she like completely dissed him. Just completely. I was very upset.
It's like, well, my circumstances, blah blah blah. It's like, well, I'm rich now. I'm above you. You're. I don't want you. It really is like poor character. Also, just by the way, I don't think now I'm not a financial expert by any stretch of the imagination,
Hmm.
but I don't think you can just like
Get that
Zelle
much money.
somebody $5 million and put it in their checking account.
Yeah,
Like, um,
I was thinking that too.
she will have to pay a heavy tax for that. The
Hmm.
IRS tends to flag those sort of things because I think it's something over like anything over like 5 or 10 grand. If you're gifted it, the bank has to flag it and send a report to the IRS. Like you can't even take more than like 10 grand out of your checking account at a time without it being reported. So like how's 5 mil just end up in your bank
I
account?
thought of I was thinking about that too. I was like,
Like, this is not the way you do this, kids. You either do it the shady way and like launder it,
Yeah.
you get it in some sort of a cash payment,
Hmm.
or you
Get it in payments.
yeah, you get it over time, or get the Cayman Islands account or something.
Right.
You don't
Right.
like they don't just send it to your Chase bank.
Yeah, I
You
thought
know?
that was kind of weird. I was like,
I don't think Greg is the type of guy who's just going to say, "Here's 5 mil, Bob's your uncle." It's like like if she's doing it to start a business, he would be like, "Well, I'm going to be an investor in that business.
yeah,
I'll be a silent partner, but this is not me. This is an investment.
yeah.
This is me investing in you and your business."
Hmm.
Because otherwise, it also looks super shady.
Yeah,
Otherwise, like if
yeah.
somebody just gives you a hush money payment of 5 mil, that's what it looks like. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like it's well, I got this investment. No, you didn't. That's not, it's like if it's an investment, then you get an LLC or you get an incorporation and you have people in, like, this is just another way, like, movies and TV don't know about money. In the Dark Knight Rises, they take all of Bruce Wayne's money away because the stock market got robbed and apparently he had all of it in one place. Like that's what billionaires do. Like he didn't
Right.
have it in tax shelters in Ireland and the Cayman Islands, or he didn't have
Hmm.
like what do you have, a checking account that they robbed? He's a billionaire, like so that kind of thing. And they like
Hmm.
were like he's like, they're leaving me the house. It's like, dude, you're a generational, it's generations of wealth. You own the house, you moron. What
Yeah.
did you have to do? Put up a second mortgage to buy the company? So anyway, I don't want to go off on a thing, but that's not how money works.
Right.
And she's going to be rich, but then she's also going to be investigated, which is not going to be fun. So if we covered, if we went back to the States with her, that would be her future. But yeah, I didn't like how she ended up. I didn't like how Piper ended up. Everybody who was given a chance to make the good choice didn't.
No.
And that really is just so depressing
Hmm.
that not one person who given the choice was like the least bit redeemable, except for Chelsea.
Right.
Um, and we'll talk about it in predictions, but like, the whole thing with Gay Talk just shooting him in the back while he's running with an injured and or possibly dead woman, like because his boss told him to. I'm sorry, that's murder. That's if you're a security person or a police officer, you say stop, police, and then when they don't, you say stop or I'll shoot, or you get other people to get in front of them and stop them, or you don't just fire while they're running away from you with another person that they're carrying who is bleeding. Like that is just an execution. So, which also just seems like, I know we established that he's a good shot, but it sounds horribly out of character for this
Yeah.
guy who's saying, I'm a Buddhist. I don't believe in violence. I don't think I should do this job. And the guy's like, you're good at it. He's like, no, I want to quit. And then the next thing you know, he's like a cold-blooded stone killer, and he's just wasting fools because he shot at his boss's hut. Like, so even him, who's like established as like he's going to be the good guy, and he also makes a bad decision in not telling his boss, who
Yep.
apparently he values more than his God, uh, about these thieves who
Yep.
are operating under their nose.
Yeah.
Like, what's that about? Like, oh, we'll get deported. What? So you committed a
Exactly.
violent
But and
crime,
see, he
dude.
touched his heart that way. But yet then he goes and shoots someone in the back. Yeah. Hmm.
The only thing that's been consistent about this guy is his incompetence, and then as a security person, and then but like his willing to do this just shows that he doesn't even have convictions as a man.
And it was Mook too. I thought you were confident, like doing that. And I'm not saying that's a good reason that he did it, but that was another thing. Her was her too.
Even with that, like he should have been, you know what? I am confident and I'm secure, but I'm a Buddhist and I don't believe in violence. If this job demands violence, I want to be true to who I am. and be that rather than, shoot a dude who's running away from me in the back.
Yeah.
Like awful,
Yeah.
just awful.
Hmm.
That was very disappointing. And the fact that they killed Chelsea was just, I know they hung a lampshade on it after, she's like, because she mentioned it because she was the only
Hmm.
one who knew what show she was in. But like, and she said bad things happen at threes. I think bad,
Yeah.
something bad, something bad, something bad. I also think for Rick to fly off the handle and just cap that guy, it's like, yeah, so he said something bad about your mom. Dude, like let it go. Like you had your
Peace,
yeah,
right?
you
Or
made your
whatever.
peace
Yeah.
with it. Like no
Hmm.
matter what he says, you should have been like fine. And if you weren't fine, you fly home angry. You don't murder somebody
Yeah.
in front of their wife. Yeah, okay, we'll go
Yeah.
to, but like, what's the next category? I can relate. Oh
That
boy,
it's
that's a
just me
tough
with
one.
the only one for me is the donut. I would eat the donut.
They did look like some really good donuts.
Yeah, and the fact
Um,
that she grabbed it, yeah. So that's because I was like at first I'm like nothing. And I'm like okay, maybe wanting the donut
yeah,
and still
but
eating it.
with these people, man, I got nothing. I'm just like, I I I I cannot relate to this,
Mm.
and I hope that continues to be in my, like as a
Yeah,
person, I hope that continues to be.
yeah.
But oh God,
Hmm.
it's so what's the word I'm looking for? It feels almost defeatist that
Disheartening. Yeah,
it,
defeatist. Yeah.
yeah, just yeah, disheartening is probably a good word for it. Just like having these people who you've watched for this amount of time who
Mhm.
just it's it's like trying to believe in somebody who, you want to do the right thing and then they just don't. My question is, and I don't know if we can even answer this now because it's only been a couple of days since we've seen it. What are we supposed to feel? Like, what is this supposed to like? I felt horrible after
Hmm.
watching it.
Hmm.
And I was like, is this the desired effect?
Hmm.
Everybody's awful. Thanks so much. Thanks for
Yeah.
playing.
Yep.
Everybody's terrible. Um, I mean,
And they're all well, no, except for gay talk. They're all coming back to America. Jason and I had so much to talk about in this season finale that this is going to be a two-parter. So tune in next week for part 2. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. And you can find us at homebodiesonly.com, as well as you can find us plus our other shows that are part of the BTRP Media Network at btrpmedia.com.
This is the BTRP Media Network.